Welcome everyone. Today we are looking at the Voluntary Carbon Market, or VCM, focusing on nature-based solutions and the reduction of deforestation and forest degradation in particular. Specifically, we will be exploring what the BIOFIN-EU project can learn from recent developments and challenges within the forest carbon offset market. To give a brief overview, the VCM is the primary market for nature-based solutions, and it reached a value of $2 billion in 2022. In that same year, forestry, land use, and agriculture projects made up almost half of all credits traded. While fossil fuel companies and car manufacturers have traditionally driven the demand, buying over 3/4 of top-tier offsets, we are increasingly seeing financial players, like asset managers, entering the space. Functionally, this market operates as a highly commodified payment for environmental services. It involves buyers, intermediary service providers who don't directly manage the land, and strict conditionality criteria to ensure the environmental services, such as greenhouse gases emission reductions from deforestation and forest degradation reduction, are actually being delivered. Today, we will focus on 3 key lessons derived from the voluntary forest carbon offset market: the recent clash over impact methods, the critical need for data in due diligence, and the market's evolution toward larger jurisdictional programs. Let's start with impact methods. In 2022, the volume of VCM credits traded plummeted by 51%. This followed a wave of media and scientific reports revealing that many rainforest carbon offsets were essentially worthless, as many projects were overestimating their emission reductions, failing to significantly reduce deforestation. This sparked a major methodological debate. All major carbon offset standards rely on a comparison between the historical emissions taken during baseline years and the emissions measured during the project to determine the number of carbon credits generated. This method cannot account for other events that may affect deforestation trends, such as a change in the political regime. Now, experts are calling for counterfactual methods, using control groups to accurately represent what would have happened in an area if the project had never existed. This controversy brings us to our second lesson: the urgent need for better data to prove integrity. Right now, there is low trust in carbon standards, creating high reputational risks for buyers. Meanwhile, companies are facing immense pressure to prove their net zero claims are legitimate, driven by both voluntary initiatives and strict regulations like the EU Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive. This is why the demand for high-integrity carbon credits has substantially increased in the past few years. In response, new initiatives have emerged to inform buyers, such as standard-level certifications like the ICVCM and project-level credit rating frameworks like Silvera. However, third-party verification alone cannot fix data gaps. Buyers recognize that in-house due diligence will always be necessary. Science will play a vital role here, helping to identify gaps and generate tailored data to support corporate due diligence. Our final lesson involves the scale of these projects. There is a global push to move away from small, isolated RED+ projects and toward larger, jurisdictional RED+ programs. The justification for these larger collective incentives is largely technical and structural. Scaling up helps avoid inflated baselines and mitigates leakage, the risk that deforestation simply shifts outside the project boundaries. Furthermore, it incentivizes broader local governance changes, policy reform, and reduces transaction costs, especially for buyers. While direct evidence for the impact of these jurisdictional programs is not yet straightforward, utilizing collective incentives holds great promise for enhancing local governance and environmental outcomes. More research will be needed to pinpoint exactly under what conditions these large-scale incentives work best. Thank you for your time today. If you have any questions or would like to learn more, please visit the BIOFIN-EU project website or reach out via email.
BIOFIN-EU